Hey, it's Sunday and it's time for my mental health vlog. It's raining here in Houston, so I hope wherever you are the weather is decent. But I will say we do need the rain here. We've had a good amount, but we still need it. Um, let's see. After my vlog last week, we went to a friend's for dinner and hung out with them for a good amount of time. By the time were ready to leave, it was after 10. I'm like, I did not realize it was so late. I am so sorry. But it was good. It was catching up with a friend I haven't seen in a while, and his husband. So that was cool. Um, on Monday morning, got up and broke everything down here in the office and finished packing and flew to White Plains, New York. I was spending a couple days in West Chase slash Valhalla slash White Plains uh, for a couple of days on a business trip. The company I work for is headquartered there in Valhalla, and I didn't realize that the CEO, the CFO, like all the big wigs for the company are in the office. So that was terrifying. But so the flight was okay. I slept through the actual flights itself. Um, I will say that I am enjoying this discovery of things that used to trigger me to act out for my sex addiction are not triggering me like they used to. So that tells me that the work I'm doing in the program is having a positive impact. And I do feel a little bit more in control of my life. So positive notes there, because the airports and airport bathrooms honestly were a place that I would act out or think about acting out. So really glad that I've gotten my life together a little bit more and a bit better focus and structure on there. Landed in New York. I actually was on the same flight from Atlanta to New York as a coworker of mine. So we Ubered together. I will say the airport in White Plains, New York is the smallest airport I have ever been in. I walked out of the gate, off the plane, out of the gate, past one door, and I was in the baggage claim area, which, by the way, had one trolley, one track for baggage. I think they had 4 gates total for this airport. So it was a small airport. And I walked outside, and oh my God, it was cold. I brought my heavy jacket with me, and I packed it, and I pulled it out ASAP. I also wanted to double check because I had packed some barbecue sauce in a mason jar for one of my managers. And I promised her next time we met, I'd bring her some. Man, I had that thing super protected. It was in the mason jar, had 2 layers of thin foam wrapped around it and duct tape. Then I had it in a plastic bag. I had the plastic bag wrapped in press and seal. I had the press and seal wrapped in a towel. I had the towel in an Amazon plastic bag sealed. So, because we just got the package that day delivered. So it was like, if it was going to break, I didn't want my stuff to smell like vinegar for the entire week. So luckily it made it. So that was the first thing I did, was I grabbed my jacket and to check and make sure, okay, it's still solid, good to go. Got to the hotel. It was actually a really nice hotel. Went back downstairs and met 2 of my coworkers for dinner. We saw another coworker that we were meeting, that was going to be part of our meeting, and I'm like, I don't really want to see him just yet. So we pretended we didn't see him, but unfortunately I'm hard to miss, and later in the evening they found us at the table. But anyway, the meetings themselves, where I was not looking forward to going, I will say were incredibly beneficial. We did a lot of great brainstorming. We addressed some issues. We got a lot of things aired out in the open, and we just treated it like a very safe space. We're like, we are all here for the same reason. Let's find the best way to make our goals. And we had one day where we met with the business, and then we had a day and a half where we've just met with my team to focus on the project that we were working on. So it was really, really, really good. Tuesday night we went to this really, really fancy, like, farm to table restaurant. I will tell you, it was so loud in there I couldn't even hear the waiter. So I just pointed to things, and I was sitting right next to people, and I have a hard time hearing in loud noises. If there's a lot going on, I can't focus on the sounds directly around me. I'm not sure if it's ADHD or hearing thing or both. So I just kind of sat there and played on my phone and caught Pokemon and tried to involve myself in conversation whenever I could, but honestly, I couldn't hear anybody, and I was bored, and I wanted to get back to the hotel. I'm like, I'm done. Wednesday night, my team went and got dinner again. Oh, we had a release at work, so we ate at the hotel, and then we all brought our laptops down to the lobby about 9 o'clock and validated our release. So that was it was funny. We were laughing, having a good time while we were doing it, and one of the coworkers was laughing at me all little comments that I was making during validation, and she's like, "Jesus." I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't understand. These are the same comments I make at home while I'm doing validation. Y'all just aren't there to hear them." So, and my team knows I have no filter, so it is what it is. That was Wednesday. Thursday. Wednesday we got some really great news at work. I've been working on a project that we are basically a pioneer for in my office, in my company. We've been trying to accomplish something that we think everyone's going to want to use. So it's for us, but the implications are much more widespreading. Like every different group is going to want to use this technology or logic in a different way. So I've been trying to get this done for over a year, and we've run into issues. We had some staffing changes. We had some security things that we were running into, just trying to make it work like we want to make it work, which is, of course, the easiest way for the user. Finally got it to a point where we can really start testing it this week on Wednesday. And that was huge because while testing it, it's working exactly like we wanted it to. So we have to do some more really in-depth testing to make sure it works like we want it to, and then we can roll it out to the users. Now the users are aware that this particular function is coming, but it's something that's been talked about for over a year. But it's finally there, and my manager was so excited that she went down the hall to talk to the CEO. Because this project is very, my project is very highly visible to the CEO. It's like one of the top things he's monitoring right now, which is terrifying for me. But she went and told him the good news that what we had done and where it is and what it is, and then she flat out said, "And I want you to know, I came in on this at the very, very last minute. Jordan has been working on this for over a year. This has been his project." So I got some kudos and some street cred with the CEO, which I wasn't upset about. My boss and I are in a really good place because she's trying so hard to be valid as the product owner for this project now, and she's trying really hard to prove herself, and a lot of the things that she's feeling are things that I felt months ago. So we've been able to connect on that, and I think we have a very good understanding. Like we both want the same thing. We've both been shit on, but we both want the same thing. So it was very productive. So as much as I bitched about not wanting to go to New York, and it snowed on Wednesday for like half an hour, that was it. I could tolerate that. It was outside. I wasn't in it. It was cold though, but it was a really, really beneficial trip. And I think I said that last time when I went to a work trip that I didn't want to go, and then it was really, really beneficial. So maybe I'll just stop saying I don't want to go and just be like, oh, okay, it's a work trip. That will be really beneficial. When do I ever make things easy for myself? Never. Let's see. So flew home on Thursday evening, went through Atlanta, of course. I got home. I flew out of one airport in Houston and flew into another airport in Houston. Weirdest thing. But that's okay. They upgraded me, so I got the exit row. I got the seat with no chair in front of me, so I got my legs enough space. So that was very much needed. Friday morning, got up, tried to remember, all the stuff I needed to do that I hadn't done all week, and got some work done. And then picked up my son in the evening, came home, ordered pizza, just chilled out. We did have a little bit of an issue where I told him that it was, tech time was over, and he threw a little bit of a tantrum. And I said, okay, well, now we've just lost most of our tech time for tomorrow, which, didn't help, but I mean, actions have consequences, so. And then when Saturday morning came around, I was very strict. I'm like, this is how it's going to work today. This is what you can do. This is what you can do. And he understood this, the punishment, and took it for what it was. So that was, at least he didn't put up too much of a fight on Saturday. He did start playing with a new toy that he got for Christmas, a little drone that he got from a very dear friend of ours. And he was outside playing with it last night with my boyfriend while I was in here working on something. And I guess that it got caught up by a gust of wind and went somewhere. So they checked with some, and I told my son, I'm like, if that goes over a fence, it's gone. If that goes on a roof, it's gone. Well, I do feel bad because it was the wind. It was higher than it should have been, but it was the wind that caused the issue. So he and my boyfriend went and talked to one of the neighbors, and then they didn't find it. And my son and I went this morning and talked to another neighbor, and they didn't find it. And then I got my ladder out there trying to find it earlier today. I can't find it. You'd think those things would have like GPS on them or something, but for all intents and purposes, unfortunately, he got about a few hours of joy out of it, and now it's gone. He is really beating himself up about it, and he's so worried that I'm angry at him. And I'm like, accidents happen, dude. This isn't something that you intentionally did. This, it sucks because you had a new toy and now it's gone. But, so he's really beating himself up. He's really bad about that. And I tried to remind him last night. I'm like, there are things that we cannot control, and we need to realize how we need to react to the things we can and can't control. And it's how we react to those things that make us who we are. So it's amazing how many little tidbits of either from that I've gotten from therapy or from group that I can help and regurgitate and give to my son. So that's awesome. Today, my boyfriend's parents came over. My boyfriend's mom is working on making some cards with his Cricut. So I worked on some designs. I'm getting really excited about opening my second Etsy shop in 2 weeks. I'm having a lot of fun with the design process for those, and making the new patches for that. Plus, I did a live feed today to introduce like the 60 plus patches I've got for my other Etsy shop, the family friendly one. So I'm definitely staying very, very busy. I opened my shop just for a couple of days this weekend to get a couple of orders in before I go out of town on Friday, and I already have to shut it down tomorrow because I have too many orders that came in. I'm like, I need a break. But it's a good problem to have because the money's always nice. My sexual anorexia issue is like 99.9% under control. I'm really happy about that. I've gone to the gym a couple of times. I've stayed on routine. I've stayed on schedule whenever possible. Very happy and proud of myself about that. And we went and saw. Nope, I was traveling. I was gonna say like I didn't get to go out to my meeting this week because I was traveling, and I'm gonna miss my meeting this week because Chicago. We have tickets to see Chicago, where I have a local celebrity that I enjoy talking to, who's in the cast, and I hope to be able to see her and give her a big hug backstage or in the back door when they're done. So that's about it. Did I have any kind of running theme this week? I feel like I just rambled, but that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. I love you guys. I hope y'all are doing well. Check on your friends. Make sure they're doing okay. Check on your loved ones. Make sure they're doing okay. I'm super excited to see my family next weekend. We fly to Florida. We are taking my mom to Disney for her 70th birthday, so I'm very excited about that. I hope she is too, but honestly, just to see her makes me excited. And to see my sister and my brother-in-law and hopefully my aunt and whoever else can make it down. So I'm excited to see them. Check on yourself. I am a little all over the place right now, but I am making it and I am doing well. And I think the only thing I need is to be a little bit more regular in my system, because flying stops me up and it's irritating. So, all right, guys. That's it. I will check in with you next week. Have a great one. Bye.